modern vinyl siding to stylish fiberglass doors, and from double-hung windows to sliding glass doors, they have the perfect solutions for your home. Contact them today for a free consultation. Just search online, J&J Contractors, or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Right now at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, get our lowest prices of the year. For a limited time only, we're offering the best possible pricing on your favorite brands throughout the store. Like our lowest price on 30 packs of Blaine's brand AA or AAA batteries, just $7.99. A Milwaukee job site backpack, only $84.99. Rewards members save an extra $2. And rewards members can buy 3 tires, get 1 free. Plus additional instant savings on select brands. Don't miss our lowest prices of the year, only at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
The Brewers are ready for fall. As for the Cardinals, well, they fell off a long time ago.
Ranging to his left is Durbin. Field spins and throws to first in time.
The Brewers take on the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. Our coverage starts tonight at 6 with Brewers warm-up. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 67 degrees. Today, scattered showers and storms, partly sunny, high of 73 at the lake, 78 inland. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, storms, low of 63 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Elizabeth Lintonen. Additional items and human remains were found in the remote Washington area that could belong to Travis Decker. He's the father accused of killing his 3 young daughters before disappearing into the woods. Chelan County Sheriff Mike Morrison says the first items were found Thursday afternoon with the help of a drone.
We found additional body parts today to include 2 feet, some femurs, and also some vertebrae. We've requested that these items also be sent off to Washington State Patrol's crime lab for additional testing.
Morrison also says what was located yesterday was sent to the lab, and investigators went back out and uncovered additional items. More protests in support of suspended late-night host Jimmy Kimmel and free speech. Members of the Writers Guild Union, their supporters, and lawmakers gathering outside of ABC studios in New York City on Friday. Here's chanting at that rally.
When late-night television is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. When comedy is under attack, what do we do? Stand up, fight back. What do we do? Stand up, fight back.
Meanwhile, police responding to reports of gunshots outside ABC 10 in Sacramento, California on Friday afternoon. No injuries reported overnight. A 64-year-old suspect in Sacramento arrested. A 19-year-old accused of pointing a gun at the driver of a stolen van that struck and killed 3 people is now charged with 3 felonies. According to a criminal complaint, Trayvon Lawson was allegedly pointing a gun at the driver of the van when it sped through a red light on 35th and Valete during a police chase on Milwaukee's west side. Lawson was arrested after a separate chase in August, then released on September 9th, just 1 week before this incident. The chase ended in the death of 3 pedestrians. If convicted of all charges in the Milwaukee crash, Lawson faces nearly 20 years in prison. High-speed chases in Milwaukee have residents complaining about people getting hurt when a chase goes through a highly congested neighborhood. Milwaukee District Attorney Kent Laverne tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News a police response is always necessary.
We cannot have a response to reckless driving that does not include a police response. We have a police response to every other type of crime issue that we're confronting. So the police have to very much be involved here. I think it's not the only response here. We've remodeled some of our streets to slow down traffic, and that is having an impact in a positive way.
Laverne says officers need to adjust accordingly to a high-speed chase depending on the situation. Convicted murderer Maxwell Anderson is no longer in Wisconsin. Anderson, who was convicted in the murder and dismemberment of Sade Robinson earlier this year, was initially sentenced to serve prison time in Wisconsin. His attorney, Anthony Cotton, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News the transition of an inmate from an in-state prison to an out-of-state prison is rare and usually only happens when it involves a prisoner swap.
You basically have to reach out through the governor's office because I think the way they do it is they probably do a prisoner swap. We've got this inmate, and then state B has another inmate, and they just transfer them from one to the next.
Anderson was sentenced to life in prison on August 1st. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:04.
Sponsored by AccuNet Mortgage.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
After writing 3 unsuccessful offers, Brenda decided to make a no-regrets offer on this next property. She offered $35,000 over asking and promised to complete the purchase even if the appraised value came in as much as $25,000 below the accepted offer price. Why? Because she was tired of losing, and because her AccuNet loan consultant showed her that even in her worst-case scenario, no additional money would be needed at closing, and her payment, which on this home was much more affordable affordable than others she wrote offers on, would only increase by $17 a month. Brenda's no regrets offer, backed up by a rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval from AccuNet, was accepted over several others. And wouldn't you know, the appraised value came in at the significantly higher than asking purchase price, which happens 9 out of 10 times in our experience. If you or someone you know wants help understanding what a no-regrets pre-approval might look like, get started by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
We practice law locally, regionally, nationally, and even globally, but downtown Milwaukee will always be our home. I'm Susan Lovern, CEO of Umbrison and Roper. We've enjoyed watching downtown grow for decades, and we're thrilled to be part of its bright future.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers lost to the Cardinals 1-7 last night. They play again today at 6:15. Brewers warm-up starts right here on WTMJ at 5. The Packers play the Browns tomorrow at noon. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. At the moment, we're seeing all clear out there. No major incidents, no major delays.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, scattered showers and storms, partly sunny, high of 73 at the lake, 78 inland. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, scattered showers, low of 63 degrees. Tomorrow, scattered storms, partly sunny, high of 75. Monday, scattered showers and storms, mostly cloudy, high of 75 degrees. Tuesday, chance of showers, high of 73. Wednesday, sunny and cloudy, high of 68 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, it's 62. In Madison, it's 64. In Waukesha, it's 68. And in Milwaukee, it is 67 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton in Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:08.
This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guy. Well, we've got the guy. And we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton, Kane, and David Nason.
Welcome to hour number 2. If you missed the first hour, you can always find the Fix-It Show podcast on Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. We talked about a lot of different things last hour. This hour, Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair on with us, and I have a feeling we're going to be talking about basements.
And grading gutters and downspouts.
And all the fun stuff that comes with that.
Keep your basement dry.
Well, there's really no other thing more fun
than basements?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was in a basement most of the day yesterday, cleaning stuff out.
Yeah, I could talk about
I have a question on that. So,
clearing stuff out.
How much stuff can you keep in your basement without affecting it? My dad had so much stuff.
Load it up. Listeners, just load up that basement.
At one point, his wife, Karen.
All that stuff's going to absorb all the water.
Yes, it'll keep it drier.
It all up.
She pokes her head out. She goes,
we say that lightly, but we realize that there's still a lot of people dealing with some real problems.
Yeah, we'll be talking about that today.
It was not a good thing.
No.
So, I mean,
no.
So
seriously, he had stuff up on the rim joists. He had stuff hanging in the rafters.
Mm-hmm.
He had stuff on the floor. He had cabinets full of stuff. Like, I'm looking at going, is this good for the basement? And the answer
Environment? Not generally.
Probably not, because you want some ventilation. So you want stuff to be vented because it can create a moldy situation in those basements.
Yeah, I didn't see any of that, luckily. Yeah. But there can be too much stuff in a basement,
especially
right?
if it's all piled up against the walls. We had the caller in the first hour about the walls with the paneling and the drywall and everything, but the issue was the vapor barrier.
Right.
Well, all this stuff stacked up against your walls kind of becomes that vapor barrier. Like you just said, air movement. If you're not getting any air moving, it's trapping humidity and moisture. There's always some moisture in the foundation walls.
Absolutely.
Right, Chris?
Absolutely. And that's a good topic to talk about too today. From the people who had the floods, right, and to where we are today, and people who still need help, and then we're getting a bunch of calls too from people going, hey, what do you guys think about? I didn't get any water. I'm looking to finish my basement. So now what do I do? So in that regard, you definitely want to keep the air moving. It's an air movement thing more than anything else. So we generally suggest to people before you do a rec room, and this is what the remodelers will tell you too. If you're going in to do a remodel in your basement, you want to get the basement eval'd for sure. Mm-hmm. There's some very qualified home inspectors that can do that for you too. Otherwise, we can do it also. And if you're going to do a finish basement, you should probably get the drain tile tested too. The reason is if once you're done with once you do the remodel, if you have a water intrusion issue, it's a bigger deal, right? Because you have all that finished stuff to worry about. We just went to a house off of 119th and Mill. It used to belong to a fireman that I knew. And the reason I say I knew him is he passed away, about 5 years ago, but young guy too. But anyway, he was a meticulous guy. His rec room was just spectacular. And we came in and we fixed one wall for him back in 2005. And then this new guy bought it, never had any issues, and then he had some water come in during the flood. And it's called us up. We came back, took a look at it, and we noticed some weird cracking now on some of the drywall. And we're like, hey, man, this looks kind of weird. This drywall looks funky. Even though it's old, it basement looks spectacular again, by the way. So he popped off a piece of cut a piece of drywall out, and he's got something called base shear. So he's got some real structural issues there, which is bad for him. But the good part of it, he caught it early enough where it doesn't have to be excavated, but it most certainly has to be reinforced. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to do a rec room in the basement, anything like that, you should have the basement eval'd, because some cracks, they're not a fixable issue, but some are, and you should have a good look at it to determine if that's the case. And it's much more economical to do it earlier than later, and then also have the water management system evaluated. It just saves you some wear and tear down the road.
And just say if somebody's thinking, I don't know if I want that, because then that's like this red flag that, I had a basement problem. No, absolutely not. When your basement's repaired, it's better than it was before. When I go in as a home inspector and I look and I see beams on the walls, like, okay, this looks like it was done well, or they show me the paperwork and, accurate, it came and did it. I'm like, this is great. You're good now.
You took care of it.
Yeah, you took care of the issue.
Absolutely.
Rather than, I don't know, kind of thing.
Absolutely. And then we tell, folks too, is that it's a hole in the ground, right? It's a hole in the ground, but it's a substantial opportunity for improvement. Mm-hmm. It's always cheaper to go down than up and out. And what I mean by that is in the remodeling phase of your houses, and again, I'm not a remodeler. I'm just I do the basement part of keeping it dry and structurally sound. Yeah. So it's much more economical to expand in the basement than it is to go out and up.
Yeah. Chris is with us all this hour, 855-616-1620. If you have questions for him, accuratebasementrepair.com is the website. It is hour number 2 of the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
When we're out in your town, come say hi as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be.
You can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Glass shower doors are beautiful, but the way they used to make them doesn't allow for them to stay looking beautiful for long. And that's because hard water, heat, humidity, and even soap can corrode standard shower glass. But our newest product, ShowerGuard Glass, is different. Its patented technology permanently seals the glass surface against discoloration and corrosion. And with regular cleaning, your new shower guard glass is going to look new for years to come. So if that old glass shower door of yours is ready to go, give me a call about shower guard glass. Now, you can't find this product everywhere, but you can find it at Les's Glass. And with over 30 years of experience installing glass shower doors, you can take our word for it. It lives up to its billing. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Now these tend to fly off the shelves. But don't worry, because our connection supplies us with a lot of them. Vintage ceiling tiles from once great old buildings in New York City that make for ultra-unique artwork. These items are definitely hard to find from anywhere else around here. So come take a look, and you'll probably find a treasure. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
If you or a loved one is ever hurt in an accident, don't call the first lawyer you happen to see on TV. Instead, call the law firm that's most qualified to handle the complexities of your case. Or call the firm that won the largest personal injury verdict in Wisconsin history. Or the one with the largest product liability verdict in state history. Or the one that has recovered more million-dollar results than any other firm in Wisconsin. It all happens to be the same firm. Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service. Visit habish.com for more information.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Get her done. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us. Bucks' first preseason game is just 16 days away in Miami, so we're going to have Bucks, Brewers, Packers all going on. It's going to be awesome for you sports fans out there.
Could we have 3 playoff teams?
Let's hope. Let's hope.
Right.
All right, Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair is on with us. Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line is 855-616-1620. This question came in. Is there a standard depth that a basement sump pump should be lowered into the crock?
So what that means is that crock is if you know, for listeners, the crock is just a pail. That's all it is, pail in the ground.
Yeah.
And that pail, the drain tile, which is the tubing, is supposed to go to that, and it fills up and then gets spit away, hopefully far enough from the house so it doesn't recycle. And what the caller means is sometimes you'll look inside there and go, why is this on top of a brick? Why is this on top of a block? Some people will raise the pump up.
A submersible pump.
Submersible, yep. And sometimes there'll be a different size pail, right? You can go get the Menards 5-gallon pail, or you can have the 1-gallon pail, but there is a minimum size, and then there's a lot of larger ones, and the larger ones will take more capacity. It's just your pump runs less, and so
less often, but it'll run longer.
It'll run
to empty that pail.
Correct. That's it. So if you have a pump in there, what I suggest, put it down at where it's supposed to be at the bottom, and then adjust the float. So the float is like a bobber.
Right. But if that float, I mean, I see what you can adjust the float on a pedestal pump to be higher, but on this bobber thing, are you able to adjust that?
Yeah, they're adjustable. I'm not a fan of the bobber, which means people go, what's a bobber one? That's one that has, we call it a pigtail. It's got a cord, and it kind of floats up with this
ball on the end of it, basically.
The other ones have a what's called a floating
It's in a plastic kind of channel, the one you're talking about.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, it'll go up. It'll go strictly straight up and
Straight
down.
yeah.
Those are easier. Again, I wouldn't change something out.
The
if you're a
bobber ones,
listener.
every once in a while, I see them stuck between the pipe and the side of the crock and everything, and so then the pump's not working if they're stuck. So yeah, I agree with you.
So we get a ton of calls for this. How do I check my sump pump? First of all, go in there, see what you got down there, and then take some pictures of it. And I know this sounds corny, but then kind of look stuff up online going, what does this look like? Especially with AI now, you can go, what is this image?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll describe you what kind of pump you have.
Yeah.
You can call in by us, and we'll try to help you out with that too. Submit the image. But you want to find out what you have and if it's adjustable. And if you can't adjust it yourself, and some people can't, I mean, our listeners for sure are handier than the average Joe Schmo or Jane Schmo, right? I mean, it's true.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, they're handier. In fact, I get people call me and go, dude, that's remedial, man.
Right. Well, one of the issues, though, is so many newer homes that some crock cover is
sealed,
bolted down and sealed. It's black plastic. You can't see through it or anything. I always suggest that people make a resealable access port so that you can at least open it up, unscrew something, and then reach in there or pour water in it.
So if you do have that cover, don't be afraid to unbolt it because, and those are for the people who are, again, less handy, right? There's quite a few of those, too, that are less handy. That don't beat yourself up. There's always somebody less handy than you are. So take that cover off. You should check it because a lot of the calls we had that had water intrusion, not just during the flood, but when we get normal water intrusion calls, there's something wrong with the flipping pump.
Yeah.
So when it's a float thing and we're like, oh my gosh.
Well, so basically standard depth, essentially to kind of wrap it up, you want it a little higher. You don't want the drain tiles filling with water.
Oh, he's exactly correct. David pointed that's right. It has to do that's a really good explanation. It has to do with where the drain tile, the tubing, you'll see two holes generally coming in the side of that pail, that crock. You want to make sure that water level stays below
the drain tile.
those inlets.
Yeah. Otherwise they can't drain.
That's right. Otherwise they can't drain. So that's a perfect answer. He had to go in. Yeah.
All right.
He's all problem solved too. If you guys can see him, he's like he's back patting.
You mentioned the flood. When we come back, I want to ask you some questions about that because it's only 5 weeks ago that happened. So Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair on with us, 855-616-1620. If you have questions, I see Scott from Greendale's on the line. We'll get to him as well. It is the Fix It Show on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here for CertaPro Painters. They painted our house, the outside of the house, fantastic. They did the parts in the sun, the parts in the shade, the parts on the north side, the parts on the south side. They paid attention to detail the whole way. They went the extra mile all day long. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C for your home or your business. They do both. They pay a lot of attention. They took a lot of time with our house, and it looks absolutely perfect. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated. They're the real deal. They're the best in the business. It's CertaPro Painters.
The Fix It Show live stream and podcast are brought to you by J&J Contractors. From roofing to windows, kitchen, bathrooms, and more, J&J Contractors proudly provide a full catalog of exceptional exterior and interior home improvement services all under one roof. Visit jjcontractorsllc.com or call 414-423-9200 for your free consultation today. J&J Contractors, welcome home.
Since 1957, we've been making great pizzas. The recipe's the same, the dough's made daily like it's always been. The fresh veggies are cut daily, and the quality control remains as high as it's ever been. We gotta keep it high, because we know when you can count on consistency, that it keeps you coming back. So how about Marty's Pizza tonight?
Remember Marty's Pizza. Marty's Pizza.
Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that.
Remember Marty's Pizza.
I know why you continue to live in pain. It's because you don't believe anything can be done to help.
Maybe you bought into something and you've been burned before. I mean, your skepticism, it's understandable. This is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And here we use powerful, anti-inflammatory, and cushioning pharmacological medicines to ease your pain. They're FDA approved, and most medical insurance is going to pay for our treatments, including Medicare and Medicaid. And that's the litmus test. Because if insurance has shown to cover the cost of many of our patients' treatments, you can be sure it's valid medicine. It's not a biological treatment considered experimental or some new gimmick that's trying to hook you. The Rejuvenex approach to pain relief is legitimate. It helps to alleviate pain in shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees. And from what we've seen, it gives people a new lease on their lives.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Call today, and there's a good chance we'll see you tomorrow.
Advice you can use. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us this morning. 8:26, scattered showers and storms today, a high of 73. Let's go to Scott in Greendale. Good morning, Scott. What's your question?
Hey, good morning, guys. Thank you very much for taking my call. Question. I had a plumber out to the house after the flood. We were just minor flooding in comparison to a lot of people, so we were blessed that way. But I had talked to the plumber about a backup sump pump in terms of battery operated, and he immediately put it down. And I was rather shocked because we do not have a home generator. I wanted to know your thoughts on that. If so, is this something I can do? Generally speaking, I'm one of those 620 handy people.
Right on, man.
My question is, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm a big fan of them. I mean, if you don't
so.
have a generator, and even if you do, what if you're out at, you're out at the Outback or I don't know, wherever you eat, and all of a sudden it rains and, power's out. I think some of the plumbers don't like them, and some people are against them because they don't put the same volume out and they don't last forever.
Mm-hmm.
So what I suggest, I have two of them at my house. So I have two Crocs at my house because I'm a nerd. I don't
We
want
also
my
have a
basement
bigger
wet.
floor plan.
Yeah, I have
Yeah.
a bigger floor plan too,
Yeah.
but I got two of them in my battery backup system. Again, if it goes out during the normal rainfall, like if at your house, if you get a normal rainfall and your pump, something happens, right? The malfunction on the pump, your battery backup will keep up. And it'll generally keep up for hours, not just a minute or 2 hours. So if you have a power outage and one of them freaky storms that last 2 days, it may not keep up. And that's, I think, the negativity that people say about it. But 99% of the time, you're ready to rock, man. I'd put one in. You can do it yourself. Do a little research. We do Pro Series. I think you can get them online now, too. You never used to be able to. You can do a Pro Series backup system, and it comes fully put together, like with the primary pump and the battery backup. They come packaged, so they're all already pre-connected, and they go out the same. They're pretty easy.
So we've
hookup.
talked about that. What you're going to say is through the same discharge. So if this is a concern about just wanting to have a pump work when there's no power, they can go through the same pipe.
That's correct.
If this is a concern where, I have a primary pump and every once in a while I get too much water and that pump can't keep up with the volume, then I need a backup to kick in and handle volume. That needs to go out a different pipe.
That's correct, and that would need to go out a secondary pipe. But for the average homeowner, having that battery backup is for when the power goes out. Power went out of my house, man, last Monday, and it was out for about 5 hours. So it was kind of a weird one, weird incident. But anyway, for an average homeowner, and you're in where, Greendale, you said, or Greenfield?
Greendale.
Greendale?
Yeah, Greendale, correct.
Yeah, I mean, so you'd be, with that same discharge line, you'd be good to go. I would get one for sure. And the those batteries are a little pricey on those, but don't go cheap on the battery. And obviously get the maintenance-free one. Yeah, get the maintenance-free one, because who wants to go down and start messing around with water? All of a sudden, you're drinking an old-fashioned, and an alarm goes off, and you're down there mixing, putting something else in there. You know what I mean? But yeah,
awesome, Scott. We appreciate you calling. Thanks for listening.
All right, Handy
Thank
Scott.
you very much.
Handy Scott, one of the 620 handy people. I like that.
Right on.
We do need to take a break. Chris Mancuso with us from Accurate Basement Repair. You go to accuratebasementrepair.com. They made it simple for you. Let's go over to the WTMJ Breaking News Center with Elizabeth Linton. Good morning.
Good morning. A 19-year-old accused of pointing a gun at the driver of a stolen van that struck and killed 3 people is now charged with 3 felonies. According to a criminal complaint, Trayvon Lawson was allegedly pointing a gun at the driver of the van when it sped through a red light at 35th and Valete during a police chase on Milwaukee's west side. Lawson was arrested after a separate chase in August, then released on September 9th, just 1 week before the incident. The chase ended in the deaths of 3 pedestrians. If convicted of all charges in the Milwaukee crash, Lawson faces nearly 20 years in prison. A unique question will be asked of jurors in the pending criminal trial of Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan. Dugan is set to go to trial in December on federal criminal charges that accuse her of obstructing immigration agents trying to arrest an undocumented Mexican immigrant outside her courtroom earlier this year. Prospective jurors will be asked about their news sources and past political activities. If convicted of the charges levied against her, Dugan could be sentenced up to 6 years in prison. A 13-year-old student is under arrest after bringing a fake firearm into Butler Middle School in Waukesha Friday. Waukesha police say they arrested the student after another student spotted the fake weapon in a backpack and reported it to the teacher. It turned out to be a toy gun with shoots gel beads. The student faces charges of possession of a dangerous weapon other than a firearm on school grounds. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic, we are seeing a construction closure at the Hale interchange. Other than that, no major incidents, no major delays.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, scattered showers and storms, partly sunny, high of 73 at the lake, 78 inland. Overnight tonight, partly cloudy, scattered storms, low of 63. Tomorrow, scattered showers and storms, partly sunny, high of 75. Monday, scattered showers and storms, mostly cloudy, high of 75 degrees. Tuesday, chance of showers and storms, high of 73. Wednesday, sun and clouds, high of 68 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 65, in Waukesha, it's 67, and in Milwaukee, we are looking at 68 degrees. I'm Elizabeth Linton in Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:32.
They saved over $50,000 after we sold their home at only 1.9%. You don't have to pay 6% to market and sell your home. Hundreds of Century 21 Benefit Realty clients will attest. You can get it all for only 1.9%. The more value your home has, the more important it is to find the best real estate commission and the marketing ability to get top dollar. And with Century 21 behind us, that's what we have. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. Half a century of marketing expertise joined with over 20 years of local market knowledge. Not to mention the savings you'll see after you get our best commission right up front, which, by the way, is only 1.9% on the listing side of your home. Join that together and you can be sure that you've chosen the right real estate experts who have the experience to market your home effectively and give you a commission that'll end up paying for things like new furniture. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Imagine waking up to the updated kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. J&J Contractors is your preferred partner in all your home renovation needs. They can transform your kitchen with beautiful new floors, custom cabinetry, and more. Dreaming of a spa-like oasis with custom tile work and fixtures? J&J Contractors will design a bathroom that leaves you feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. For your free consultation, just search online, J&J Contractors, or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
I'm Matt Dorner, CEO of Milwaukee Downtown Bid 21. Our business leaders value downtown Milwaukee.
We practice law locally, regionally, nationally, and even globally, but downtown Milwaukee will always be our home. I'm Susan Lovern, CEO of Umbreson and Roper. We've enjoyed watching downtown grow for decades, and we're thrilled to be part of its bright future.
Get down to business at MilwaukeeDowntown.com.
Dayton and David. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Thank you for joining us this morning. Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair on with us. A lot of calls and texts coming in at 855-616-1620. We're going to go to Tom in Oak Creek. Good morning, Tom. Thanks for listening. What's your question?
Yes, we have a house that was built in 1973. We moved in there in 1985, and it already had a finished basement. On the rec room side of it, they put plastic up and then paneling. Do we need to do anything with that plastic?
Well, that's a good question. Somebody brought that up last hour, too. Well, it's not an appropriate repair. I'm not a remodeler, but it's not a repair, but it's not an appropriate install in today's standards.
The state of Wisconsin went back and forth on that for years. The code said yes, you should have a vapor barrier, then you shouldn't. Some building inspectors would come in a basement when I was doing that work, and they would slash the plastic with a knife. It's like, we can't have this here, and then they say, yeah, you have to have it. So, and now, and all the science is pointing. Do not put up a vapor barrier.
You don't want it. And, you're stuck with it now, but it does hold moisture behind it, and it can create a mold situation. And I'm not prompting that because I do mold remediation. I don't do mold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that most of what we see when we do our repairs, people are taking that stuff down for us to do our repairs when we put in the steel beams and stuff, and they'll take that down, and there'll be like nastiness behind it. So what I would say is my recommendation would be you should open up a spot and then have it checked for mold. And if you should have it checked for mold, and you can do it yourself. I just did a mold test myself at my sister-in-law's house, and it was kind of freaky because it came back kind of
high.
Yeah, I mean, the dish, they had Petri dishes. So, and I had to look at that Petri dish, and I'm like, oh, man, this doesn't look good. But I would check the mold. And if you don't do it yourself, again, you can find stuff online. You can call someone. I'm not sure on the cost on that. Do you know what the cost is for that mold checks?
No, I don't do that.
I think it's $300. I'll just throw that out. I'm not sure. I don't do it. But I would have it checked, because what if you're living in there and it's moldy behind there, It has family, I just, I would have it checked, though, for sure.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Tom. Thanks for listening.
Tom.
Appreciate it. 855-616-1620. It's a Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line. Chris Mancuso in this hour. You mentioned it earlier, the flood. It was 5 weeks ago. Are you still getting calls?
Yes. Well, yes, we
Yeah.
are. And so, like 5 weeks ago, and I know it's out of a lot of people's minds, like, hey, that ship sailed. But for plenty of folks in Milwaukee and surrounding areas, it's not in the past yet. I mean,
They're still dealing with it?
Yeah, we have some. I mean, we had a call way back then with some folks that were living in a house, and the wall was down, and they were still living in it. They're still living in a house with no heating and air conditioning, with no wall, and they're still living there because they have nowhere else to go.
Oh, my goodness.
And people are going, well, why don't you go fix it? Well, it's not that easy to just, hey, let me just go throw this up and, whip this out like I go with my tool belt. It's a multifaceted deal.
Right.
But some of these folks, so what we were talking about on the break is, as listeners, you had some people that, that you might know in your neighborhood. You've seen it have stuff out front, or maybe there was a bunch of stuff out in people's yards except for that one house where maybe that elderly couple was, or that single mom. Maybe knock on the door and say, hey, I know it's been weeks, but do you have stuff down in your basement you'd like me to throw out? Because you don't have to be handy to do that, right?
No.
Go there, get some of those, nice industrial garbage bags and maybe help somebody, because, now that stuff sat, it's going to start getting to be a health issue for the people that live there. And some folks just don't have the money or wherewithal. I think I mentioned you guys, we had a call from an elderly woman whose husband had dementia, and he kept on going down into the raw sewage during the flood, for days, because they had water stuck in their house for days. And every day he woke up, it was a new, where did this flood come from morning? Yeah. So, but on a positive note, Milwaukee and surrounding areas, people step up and help your neighbor out, call that family member, see how they're doing. So we really encourage people to do that. With that being said, too, the number of calls we're getting is still very high. And we're trying to do the best we can, but it's not like I'm running Johnson Controls. It's small business, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's small business. It's firemen. I'm just some dumb fireman who got lucky, right? And started a basement business, and, we run it off of courage, honor, and integrity.
And you do a good job.
Yep, and so we're told. And we try to help people out. We're honest with them about what they need. And that's what made us thrive. But, for folks that don't know that, I was
and honest about
Milwaukee.
what they don't need sometimes.
And honest about what they don't need.
Yeah.
So I only have so many people answering phones. So we're doing the best we can, because some listeners like, that jerk never called us back. We tried calling him 3 times. Yeah, I bet you did. There's plenty of people tried calling us 4 or 5 times. And I'm telling you, we're doing the best we can, answering. But people seek our advice because they know they're going to get an honest answer about it. We're not alarmist folks. And you know what I've been getting a lot through this whole flood is, wow, man, that flood, you must be loaded. That's a ton of business for you. I tell people it's bad business. I don't like that flood stuff. I mean, we'll do the work, don't get me wrong, but that influx of human tragedy, no, not interested in that. Don't like it. I'd rather just have the steady inflow. We help people out.
But just because there's 240 people calling you, doesn't mean you can do 240 more jobs in the next coming weeks. There's a limit to the amount of time in the day and people that you have employed and being able to get work done.
Absolutely. And just know that at this point, if you have some significant structural issues, those definitely have to be addressed fairly quickly. And that's like wall claps or walls that really look bad. You're looking at them going, oh my gosh, there's all these cracks in here. Water intrusion. If it's leaking, we'll get to it. You call, get an appointment, be patient. Your best bet is, you call, but your best bet is still to send an email out. It's just better. It's easier for us to track. But we'll get out there. We'll get you scheduled. We'll get out. We'll get it fixed for you. If you're in that situation where, again, you have like a wall collapse again, and as you don't have the finances to do it, FEMA just got approved about a couple weeks ago. What I would suggest is if you don't know what to do or you're getting the runaround, reach out to your state local representative because they got a lot riding on that federal funding. So reach out to them and raise some heck that, hey, man, no one's been out to my house to check it out from FEMA. But
it was interesting. I was going around measuring a house the other day, and they asked me that, are you with FEMA? Like, oh, no, I'm not. But the neighbors, because I had my clipboard and my little measure wheel.
The car says siding unlimited.
Yeah, but they asked that.
Sure, but see, and that's a good point, man. These people are they're what? Hey, man, where's FEMA? I've been calling them.
Yeah.
I've been calling them. So keep on reaching out. The city of Milwaukee's got a helpline. And if you call even New Berlin or Tosa, they have separate numbers for you as homeowners. So if you're wondering, man, I haven't called anybody yet, is it too late? Nope, it's not too late. It is not too late. As a listener, you should call to see if you qualify. You should call. Why wouldn't you? You help pay taxes. I would call, see if you qualify for help.
On that note, we're going to take a break. Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair. Find them at accuratebasementrepair.com. Great conversations today. It is the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
I'm here to help. This is your WTMJ Fix-It Show host, David Nason, with expert advice for our listeners. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, or cracks in your basement, it's time to call my trusted friends at Accurate Basement Repair. And you know what? You'll get a free expert evaluation on me. You just tell them David Nason, the Fix-It guy, told me to call. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. And again, that's Accurate Basement Repair, 414-744-6900 or accuratebasementrepair.com.
Glass shower doors are beautiful, but the way they used to make them doesn't allow for them to stay looking beautiful for long. And that's because hard water, heat, humidity, and even soap can corrode standard shower glass. But our newest product, ShowerGuard Glass, is different. Its patented technology permanently seals the glass surface against discoloration and corrosion. And with regular cleaning, your new ShowerGuard glass is going to look new for years to come. So if that old glass shower door of yours is ready to go, give me a call about ShowerGuard glass. Now, you can't find this product everywhere, but you can find it at Les's Glass. And with over 30 years of experience installing glass shower doors, you can take our word for it. It lives up to its billing. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control and bring back your energy. Whether it's headaches, neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, time and repetition is key to staying on the right track. I've been seeing Dr. Alex and his team for 2 years now. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiropractic uses a special tool that is targeted and effective, yet pain-free and gentle. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, and the new location on Rawson Avenue in Oak Creek. Get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
Catch the final battle of the regular season. The Brewers host the Reds Friday, September 26th through Sunday, September 28th. Get in on Fan Appreciation Night and a tumbler giveaway on Saturday the 27th. Close out the regular season with the Crew. Get your tickets at Brewers.com.
Imagine that unbelievable new deck in your backyard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech deck builder. Building new decks and replacing old ones, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax in your own backyard. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited's resourceful Waukesha showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Call with your problem. We'll try to solve it. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
8:46. We are getting tons of calls and texts this morning, which is great. Keep them coming. We appreciate it, and we're trying to get to them as we can, but there's a lot of them coming in. A lot of them about sump pumps and mold because of this big flood. I have a question. So I got this water in my basement. Unprecedented storm, right? Never had it before. What if I never have it again? How do I know if my basement's okay?
Time will only tell on those. Otherwise, if you're, and this goes up, we talked about in the break here, what you don't have is for time is if your house is up for sale or if you're looking to buy a house.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's documentation.
Yep, documentation.
Because we've talked about this in the past, before the flood, is that you should be taking pictures, you should be documenting the condition of your basement so that when you get this flood, okay, this happened, and then going forward, you know, every once in a while taking pictures. Well, it never came back. It never happened again.
I know it may seem nerdy, but value-wise, it does bring value.
Mm-hmm.
And take a couple pictures and stick them in. Just make up a folder, right? Make up your Google folder or whatever it might be. But if you've only had it once, you're nervous. If you again, like we talked about earlier in the segments. If you're going to do a remodel, we suggest you have a really good basement eval and maybe have the drain tile tested. We do that in-house.
Mm-hmm.
We're one of the only ones that do it as a company. But we also suggest in a real estate deal, if you're nervous about it, you can have the system tested also. Again, it's not foolproof, but at least what we call it is you're getting an explanation on your probability of odds, which means, you open it up and you go, yep, it's wide open. So mainly you should probably look at working on grading gutters and downspouts. We did one off of Alta Lewis in Brookfield last week, and that system, water looked like it was coming in a whole bunch of different spots for a while. And we opened it up, drain tiles wide open. But what we figured out is there's cracks in the walls, so water was getting into the core hollows. So they need to do something there. They're going to try doing some grading type stuff first. If not, they'll have to have those block hollows it's called weep holing. A lot of times you have to, I shouldn't say a lot of time, 99% of the time you have to replace the drain tile, not because the drain tile is plugged, but they go ahead and do this weep holing into the block.
It ties into the drain tile.
It ties into the drain tile, usually gets destroyed. But again, people say, well, why would you do it like that? Why don't you just do it from the outside then and seal the wall? It's more economical to do it from the inside with the weep holes than to excavate the outside walls and reseal them. And the success rate on the weep holing and water management, very high. So what the cost difference is, and we can do either repair, but cost-wise, it's much more economical with the success rate on it. It makes sense.
Yeah, and we had to text it earlier. Somebody, when do you need to excavate the outside of your foundation? And it's basically if you're going to waterproof, if that is a problem, maybe an old foundation, or if you have to straighten the wall.
Correct. We just did an excavation on a poured wall, which is rare nowadays on poured walls. We can do a 2-part polyurethane injection. So, that's actually a really good topic I'll jump into quickly here is that poured walls, a lot of them get injected where the forms come together, and some of them just get cracks in them.
Yeah.
This is one of the
cold joints.
Yep, cold joints. This is one of the first years we haven't done one for Parade of Homes, so it happens. The brand new stuff. In fact, we just did. Who did I tell you? Cecilia is the one we did who works in the offices here. They're getting ready to remodel their house. Called and they had a leak. And the contractors are coming out this Tuesday, and we got in there last week. We jumped it in. So if you have a poured wall, we do a 2-part polyurethane injection. The success on that is huge. Huge. We do those. We're doing one for a whole condo community because there's multiple units. And just know that it doesn't mean the end of the world because you have a leak. It doesn't mean that, oh my gosh, my walls are falling apart. It's pretty common. It's a hole in the ground. So the 2-part injection, it's not very disruptive at all.
And it's not a structural repair. It's just literally filling the crack to keep the water from coming through the wall.
Yeah, there's a talent to it, but it is filling that crack. We actually have to drill into the wall, so it's not like you take a piece of caulk and go, we drill into the wall and we push this product through.
We do need to take a break.
Yeah, real quick. And if all this stuff that we're talking about, if you go to my website, Best Inspections LLC, go to the Contents tab, there's an article written by Tom Feza called Keep Your Basement Dry. It talks about all this stuff from drain tile testing, sump pumps, Palmer valves, grading and drainage. Great article that Tom wrote.
AccurateBasementRepair.com is Chris Mancuso's website. It is the Fix It Show. One segment left coming up on WTMJ.
The Brewers are ready for fall. As for the Cardinals, well, they fell off a long time ago.
0-2 pitch is a ground ball to third. Ranging to his left is Durbin. Field spins and throws to first in time to get Pajes.
The Brewers take on the Cardinals at Busch Stadium. Our coverage starts tonight at 5 with Brewers warm-up. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
You know when that big online store has special days with ridiculously low prices?
Yeah?
Why doesn't Hasselus Mattress do that?
We do.
You do? When?
Every day.
Okay, good one. But really, when are the big discounts?
Like I said, every day. You know our showrooms are employee-free.
So I can give your mattresses a try?
With no pushy sales guy.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that allows us to sell Sealy Posturepedic, Beautyrest, and more for way less.
Give me numbers.
Our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393. Free next-day delivery, too.
And you do this every day?
Yeah. Plus, through Monday, get a free box spring with every Sealy Posturepedic, Beautyrest, and more, or take an equal amount off an adjustable base.
Wow.
So I guess you could say now is a prime time to buy.
I see what you did there.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselus.com.
You know, Dad, we can't ever change.
Amen to that, son. And I'll tell you what, we'd have a lot of people to answer to if we did.
The fact that things have remained the same at Marty's going back all the way to 1957 is what makes it so special.
And it starts with a recipe for our sauce. It's the original, the same one that Marty taught me. It was there on day one, and it's still here today.
And it's never going away.
James, you stick with that attitude, and Marty's will be around for your kids to keep up their tradition.
And there are other things that make Marty's Pizza special.
Well, you got our untouched original recipe for our pizza sauce, and we have our own sausage made for us with our own recipe. We make everything fresh. Our own meatballs, our lasagna, our dough every day. We cut our vegetables fresh every day.
It's a labor of love.
This is Dick the Dad.
And James the Son from Marty's Pizza in Delafield.
Find out what keeps our loyal customers coming back for generations.
Right off I-94 and Highway 83 in Delafield.
Home is where the heart is. It's also where your comfort matters most. Old windows from 20 years old to the Ice Age are failing, letting in the summer heat or soon to be letting in the winter cold. Old windows let in the noise, dust, and even pollen. It's time for an upgrade. At Siding Unlimited, we install beautiful, energy-efficient Pella windows that keep your family comfortable and cozy all year round. Siding Unlimited's expert team is 5-time National Platinum Premier Pella Certified Contractor of the Year. 5 big wins proving we're the best. Knowing you'll enjoy a smooth, hassle-free installation that will perform and provide comfort and lasting savings on your energy bills. For siding, roofing, windows, and doors, let Milwaukee's National Contractor of the Year, Siding Unlimited, give you a free estimate and start the process. Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Making it a great Fix-It day. It's the Fix-It Show on WTMJ.
Sponsored each week by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction. Dayton Kane, David Nason, and Chris Mancuso from Accurate Basement Repair. We're short on time. We went long because we had so many questions and good conversations about what's going on in people's basements right now. So let's just wrap this up. People want to reach out to you. What do they expect when they do at this point?
Reach out.
You're busy.
Absolutely. Reach out. Again, I know it sounds easy for those who've tried it before, but be patient as best you can. We are getting caught up with the phone calls. And, people reach out to people they trust and they think are honest. And I'm humble about that stuff, but you guys were looking at me before going, hey, man, there's a reason why people call you, you guys over at Accurate. It's because of, your makeup, courage, honor, and integrity. And, the relationships we built over time. So there's still some folks suffering from it as the blinds are blowing up here. We have a ton of text messages that we haven't even been able to get to today. So if you have those, you can visit our website, accuratebasementrepair.com. That's accuratebasementrepair.com. You can get a lot of those questions answered off the website. If you're looking for us to come over to your house, again, you can call 414-744-6900. That's 414-744-6900. And we'll get back to you. Generally, we answer, but we're doing the best we can. We'll get out. We'll give you a good, honest eval on what you have. And then if you have some other questions, you can always visit David's website, too, at Best Inspections, right? Best Inspections. David's got a ton on there also. So we'll be able to help everybody out. Always remember what we talked about earlier, try to help your neighbor out. That's what we're all about, too, and that's part of the show, and that's why we push that out, right? Helping each other. It's a big deal.
Absolutely.
I found it interesting what you said. If you saw the house that didn't have the big piles of stuff out front, and it's an older couple or somebody living on their own, or go knock on the door and just say, hey, are you okay? Everything good? You need help with anything? Because maybe they can't.
Yeah.
Maybe they can't.
And if you can't necessarily help clean out their basement, at least help them
find
somebody. Who can we call? Let's call FEMA, like you said. Make sure you're contacting the city about programs that are available.
Yeah, absolutely. And they need help to see who they can trust, because that's the thing with a lot of our listeners. That's why they call here, right? Who can I trust? Right. Because people don't mind paying to have stuff done. They just want to make sure they're not getting ripped off.
Right.
Yeah, paying, an honest day's work for an honest day's pay.
Right.
Yep. Right.
Another great show. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I think you're in next week, too.
Absolutely. I'll be in next week, so save your questions.
Didn't get to your questions. We'll try to get to them next week as well. So have a good week.
Absolutely, everybody.
Try to get some rest. I know you've been working 7 days a week for the last 5 weeks.
We just rock, man.
David Nason.
Yes, see you next week.
All right, God blessings to everyone. Have a blessed weekend.
You too.
Special edition of the Fox World Travel Show coming up from the EAA Museum. They have their big showcase going on. Steve Scafidi and Rose Gray will be hosting that show on location today.
This has been the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Back to school means back to savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. Right now, get $3,000 off your roofing, siding, windows, or bath project during their fall savings event. Don't wait. Call